Hi, my name is Meghan Penske.
And I'm Megan.
And together we own Amadeus Aromatherapy. We are a mother-daughter team that travels all over Long Island teaching the safe and effective use of essential oils. Essential oils are the chemical components of plants that people use for physical, emotional, and spiritual benefit. As an aromatherapist, I spend a lot of my time studying the effective use of these essential oils, how they can help someone for physical uses, spiritual, emotional use. Today, we're going to spend some time focusing on the most popular essential oil in the entire world, lavender. I've brought in some lavender from my own garden, and this has wintered over very nicely thanks to the mild weather that we've had here on Long Island. Most people know lavender from either their garden, maybe someone has gifted them with a plant for the inside of their house, maybe they have a lavender soap or a lavender sachet. Why is it so popular? Well, there's several reasons. First of all, in aromatherapy, there are 27 types of lavender essential oil that you could avail yourself of. For an aromatherapist, most people tend to know provincial French lavender as their favorite essential oil or their favorite scent when it comes to lavender. But an aromatherapist really seeks out a few types of lavender. Most people really tend to enjoy French lavender. I, on the other hand, happen to prefer cashmere lavender, and most aromatherapists seek out Bulgarian lavender. So what's the difference? Well, lavenders themselves all tend to be antibacterial, antimicrobial, antifungal. They are oils that are anti-inflammatory. They open up the respiratory system. Physically, they do tend to have a sedative-like effect. As aromatherapists, we cannot tell you they are a sedative. However, when it comes down to it, some of the lavender essential oils are more potent or more effective in aromatherapy than others. So what is aromatherapy? Well, aromatherapy is the therapy of using aroma, essential oils, to help us, to one way or the other navigate through a situation, help us physically, help us emotionally, help us in spiritual use. And I know I've said that a few times, but I can't describe to you how important it is to understand that this is not just a one-shot deal. When you are smelling any type of essential oil, you're getting a physical effect. You're going to get an emotional impact. You're going to feel a spiritual impact if that is something that you're looking for. So it's very important to understand that triangle, that trifecta effect, if you will. So Bulgarian lavender essential oil is the essential oil of aromatherapists. It has more of a medicinal scent to it, but it is very, very effective. It's an effective pain reliever. It's an effective anti-inflammatory agent. It is wonderful with antibacterial properties, antifungal, antimicrobial. Most people don't necessarily like the smell of Bulgarian essential oil. I myself can tolerate it, but I find it to be very medicinal. Most people do like the sweeter, say, French provincial oil. That's the actual oil you'll find in a perfumer's maybe box. While there is a part of it that is used in aromatherapy, it's not our go-to. I prefer something kind of in the middle. I prefer a cashmere lavender, which comes from the Kashmir Valley. It has the same benefits as your Bulgarian, but it doesn't smell quite as medicinal. So that's what we'll be using here today. Now, what are we making here today? Well, Megan is going to walk us through a couple of the products that we have here today. We'll be making a sachet for you. We'll be making a lavender spray, and we'll also show you some bath salts. There's so many different products you can make just with the essential oil lavender. You know, this is that period of time in our lives. We are in quarantine. We don't normally do videos. We can't get out to people. And one of the things that we have found is that people seek information about aromatherapy. It is an alternative to medicine, never a substitute. If you have any medical issues whatsoever, please see a doctor. But we're finding that aromatherapy has become so powerful because people can effectively use it right in their homes. So one of the first things that we're going to make today for you is a lavender sachet. Now, here we are aromatherapists, and I'm showing you, little snippets of plants that I've taken, but the the biggest thing most people tend to be familiar with, or the largest aspect of lavender, are actually lavender buds. So lavender buds, of course, are picked at the height of our lavender season. And how do you know when the lavender is ripe to pick? Well, I have a little trick. Lavender farmers know that the lavender is at its peak the moment the bees set on it. Bees don't waste their time, nor do birds. They need what they need to stay nourished, to stay energized, to stay alive. They will wait for the actual lavender bud to be at its ripest before they will set on it. So that's an indicator. If you see some buds on your lavender plant and you want to grab them, you'll need a lot of lavender to do that, but maybe you want to grab a couple of them, wait for the bees to set on them, and you know then that that's the moment. It's also great to pick them early in the morning. That's usually when they're at their freshest as well. So we're going to divert for a second and make a lavender sachet. Megan, you want to show us how to do this now? All right, so we have a canvas bag, and you can use anything. Maybe you have an organza bag. Maybe you just have a very thin dress sock, or a woman's knee-high stocking if you don't have one of these canvas bags. We happen to have one. It's embroidered with a little bit of lavender on it. We love it. It's something that Amadeus Aromatherapy, you'll find us at fairs and you'll see these lavender bags there. Anyway, Megan is going to take some beautiful lavender buds, and we're going to, do you want to do it or do you want me to do it? Okay. We're going to pour some lavender in. Now, you can use a bigger, so you don't have to use a spoon at all. You might want to just throw this in there. You don't want to lose too much lavender bud. So the lavender buds themselves, I'm actually going to let Megan take this over, and I'm going to let her continue to do this. You just want to scoop that in. It's to preference. Some people say to us, well, how much? Do I overstuff it? Don't do that, because too much lavender in there, while you feel like you're getting more for your money, or you figure, oh, the more lavender the better, actually will not really activate very nicely because it becomes too compact. So what we do is we fill our sachets up about 3/4 of the way. In this particular case, you'll probably get about 2 ounces in there. And that allows us to activate the lavender buds. Now, I have a lavender sachet from when I was a young girl, which was quite a long time ago. But why keep it? Well, it turns out that lavender sachets can last for a very, very long time. A lot of people will use them and say, well, after a couple years, I don't smell it anymore. After a year, I don't smell it anymore. And they'll throw them out. That's horrible. There's no reason to do that. All you need to do, once you have got your lavender in there, our lavender is only about halfway full right now. We've actually tied this up. This was one of these canvas bags that you can go in there and, tie the top up. And we have about half of a bag full. What you want to do is you want to get in there with your fingers and just sort of rub the buds around a little bit. That activates them. That allows that beautiful lavender, it smells gorgeous, that beautiful lavender to be released again. So use it under a pillow, use it in a drawer. Some people use it right on their desk if they're in a job that is extremely stressful. If any of you are staying home and you're quarantined, you may want to have these all over your house. I know they've become my go-to. But more importantly, just know that, sachets themselves really do last for decades. All you need to do is reactivate them. Some people will say, well, can I put them in a microwave for 30 seconds? You really don't need to do that. If it's a good quality lavender bud that you can get from a lavender farm, or you may want to get it from an organic source online, all you need to do is really reactivate them every once in a while when it seems like they stop smelling. So why use a lavender sachet? Well, some history. Lavender sachets themselves, actually, we find them in medieval times, and even they predate that. Sachets were often used to make an area smell nice. You might find lavender and rosemary on the threshold of a door. People did not have, deodorant or things like that in those days. So they would have aromatic plants in the house near a bed to make it smell better, to make them actually themselves smell good so that you could tolerate being around them. Lavender itself, of course, we know has a beautiful, relaxing, sedative-like effect. And that would be the reason I would keep it near a pillow, maybe under my pillow. Maybe I don't have a lavender sachet and I want to just grab a quick drop of lavender essential oil, put it on a tissue under the pillow. You never want to be right on top of these things, but they have a beautiful relaxing effect. They help lull us to sleep, and that is one of the reasons people will use lavender. People who are also getting a cold or possibly have maybe spring allergies or a fall allergy, they will use lavender. Take a drop of it, put it on a tissue, put it near your nose and smell it because of its anti-inflammatory benefits. If you have a sinus condition, while it does have antibacterial and antimicrobial and antifungal properties, lavender will actually help to decrease the inflammation of your sinuses, helping you to breathe a little bit better, helps open up that respiratory system, and calms you down at the same time. So that is what we would do with our lavender sachet. Anything else you'd like to add to that? Meghan, how many of these do you have in your room right now?
3.
3 of them. Very good. Meghan likes her sachets. The next product that we're going to show you today actually is a Meghan favorite, and that is going to be a lavender spray. You can go many different ways with this. You can just do a pure straight up lavender spray, which is what we're going to do with you here today. You can add product to it. Some people like lavender and tea tree if they have a cold. Some people love lavender and Roman chamomile. It makes this beautiful sweet mix of dreamy like scent that really is relaxing. Some people like to throw in a little yang yang, which is a very exotic, a little deeper essential oil. We're going to just make a regular straight up lavender spray. Okay, so what do you need? You need a spray bottle. We happen to have with us today, this is our signature color, cobalt blue. Absolutely love it. We have a 4-ounce bottle of distilled water. Now in our case, we actually don't put the 4 ounces all the way in. You want about 3.75, and I'll explain to you why. We have other products to go in there. And very similar to the sachet, if everything is crammed in there and there's no headroom, you will not be able to move that product around and shake it. So it's very important. A lot of people always tend to think more is better. In aromatherapy, less is more. So that's one of our keys. We have in this particular case distilled water. In aromatherapy, distilled water is extremely important. You want distilled water because it has had its impurities boiled out. We don't want anything hanging around. Tap water is wonderful to drink, but it does have certain metals and minerals that can turn an essential oil rancid, and we would like to keep our product as fresh and as safe as possible. So we have some distilled water in here. We have some jojoba, and what we're going to do, Meghan, I'll let you do this. We're going to take our jojoba. Now, what is jojoba? Jojoba is a carrier oil, so you may have sunflower oil, avocado oil, olive oil. You may have that at home and you can use that in substitute of jojoba. Jojoba is an oil that helps carry our essential oils to our bodies safely. So does water. The reason we put it in here, first of all, jojoba is really, it's a beautiful, beautiful, very light, believe it or not, wax. We call it an oil, but it's a wax. It absorbs into the skin very, very quickly. It goes down the second layer of your skin, the sebaceous gland, which helps to, it tries to balance out the skin. It mimics the pH in your sebaceous gland, cleaning out toxins. This is where you get your acne, your blackheads, whiteheads, things like that. We love it because most people are not allergic to it, and that is a beautiful thing when we're out among the public, because we do not know your medical backgrounds and we want to be as safe as possible. So in our particular case, we want it in our product because that's going to be something that will help carry our essential oils all the way to your body and up into the air safely. So we've put in about, about a tablespoon of jojoba, and if you were closer to me and we were right together, you would see you have your water and you have your oil. You're always going to want to mix this just like a salad dressing. You want to mix it up. Oil and water don't mix unless you mix them. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our lavender essential oil. Meghan's going to put in about 20 drops. A lot of people say to us, well, Tara, how do you Meghan, what do you do? How many drops do you put in? For every ounce, we say 5 drops. Now that is the safest possible combination you can put in. Some people put in 5 to 7. Some people put in 5 to 10. The more you put in, the stronger it will be. But again, we don't know you. We don't know your medical background. So we blend everything at the safest possible amount. So in this particular case, we'll have about 20 drops in there. Meghan is going to shake the bottle, as you can see, so that it's right all mixed up. So the oil and the water are mixed up. And kaboom! We're going to spray that up into the air. Love that. Can't get enough of it. Absolutely. And what do we do with it? Meghan, what do you do with your spray?
I usually spray it in my room.
People spray it on their linens. We always tell people an hour and a half before you go to bed. There's a yin and yang to this. Lavender essential oil, while it has a set-of-like effect, can also keep you up. It also has a stimulating effect if you're right on top of it. So if you're going to use it as a spray for your linens, a linen spray, about an hour and a half before, go in, spritz it around, walk out of the room. When you come back, it'll be settled into the room. It will have dissipated a little bit, and it will be more relaxing than if you just jumped right into bed, right? You'll be up all night going, what happened, lady? You said this would work, and I'm up all night long. That's because it's acted as a stimulant. The other thing, people will use it as a body perfume. People use it even in their cars at times. You don't want to spray a lot. There is no reason to spray more than 3 or 4 spritzes in a room. If you're spraying it on your bed, one up by the actual head of the bed, one in the center, one at the end. Again, if you're spraying in your car, 1 spritz. You don't need anything really too strong. A lot of people, again, think, oh, the more I have, the better I'll feel. That is absolutely not the case whatsoever. So we always want to make sure you know that. One other product before we close that you can make very easily, we have our lavender bath salts. Epsom salt, which is actually magnesium sulfate, which is not a salt. It's great for muscles. It's great for relaxation. It's great for joints, great for the skin. We use Epsom salt. We use crushed lavender buds. We throw in some pink Himalayan salt in there, which is great for the skin, and lavender, and people will soak in this. Absolutely wonderful. One of the other things too, of course, if you've been out in the yard working, and your feet are inflamed, your hands are inflamed, lavender bath salts are wonderful to soak in. So with that, we are going to end it here. We want to thank you for watching us, and thank you for your time as you support us on this endeavor. And we hope that you will come see us again sometime. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.